Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Raven Rolls. I am your DM, Paul, uh, and this is session 2 of Shadows over Soothaven. We are using the Shadows over Drift Chapel adventure kit set in the world of Gloam. Soothaven was created using the Shadows over Drift Chapel adventure kit. Created a own town, created a story, and aspects of the character to bring them all together. The world of Gloam is a post-apocalyptic world. It's on the decline after the humans release the Gloam in their zeal to attack other races. To essentially, it was probably to remove a bit of the magic, but didn't go well. And so the Gloam is a creeping darkness that is just spreading over everywhere. But it hasn't quite touched this small little island in the Egfeld Isles. But actually, it has touched it, but not as hasn't engulfed it fully as it has some other areas of the world. Uh, I'll have the players will introduce themselves. Cameron, you can go first. You can talk any channels you want to plug, any games, and a bit about your character.
Yeah, sure. I'm Cameron. I'm playing Alistair Powell, a warlock. Um, Patron is a great old one, which I thought was kind of fitting for um, Gloam. He's a disgraced researcher who's in Soothaven, trying to learn what he can about the origins of the Gloam and the creatures that come out of it, as well as trying to help um, Lyric with his sort of issues.
All right, thank you. Daniel, you're up.
Hey guys, my name's Dan. I'm playing Fleric, who is an ex-Dawnhammer, an extra veteran, scarred by the horrors of the Black Crusades, and now he seeks a place of refuge and safety amongst the Egfeld Isles, though he has come to know this may not be the place that he is looking for. Thanks.
Thank you. Jose, you're up.
Hey everybody, my name's Jose, and I'm playing Joseph, who is pretty much this poor kid who learned how to survive, and now he's just looking for a place to pretty much make his fortune.
All right, thank you. And John, you're up.
I am playing Lorik. I am a Moonborn Druid, which is really interesting in Golem because everything's getting corrupted. And right now, I got the recap. So the scene opens with Lorik up in his little loft room, writing in the very tattered journal that he's got. Well, this place looks like it might be interesting. Apparently, there's been a lot more going on than I knew before, and they might be willing to deal with the fact if I do have major problems. I've found out that there is a type of creature here, or person, I guess you might say, that has supernatural abilities, almost like a werewolf, but not quite. And maybe that'll make them accept me. After the wolf attack, who knows what's going on with me? I know I don't. But apparently one of them was affected by the gloom and they have a higher endurance. But apparently the marshal here has befriended them, and apparently they're the ones who are mainly keeping the town safe. Although most of the commoners don't know that, and to be honest with you, they'd probably be quite frightened of a humanoid wolf that stands about 6 foot tall that can make itself look like a dire wolf. Uh, But anyway, we'll find out. And with that, he closes his journal and starts to climb back down.
Thank you, John. So, I think you were. So, Caleb Marshall, who's is in charge of the militia and the protection of this little village here, he asked you to go look into what's yeah, sorry, you remember what that part, what was he what did he send you to go look into? Remember?
Whatever is troubling the town.
I think because he said that there are werewolves on the island, and but there's something bothering them, and that seemed to affect them. So I was asking you to, he asked you to go to look around to see if you could find something that was affecting, because it would affect both the town and the werewolves themselves. So you guys, is there anything you want to do before you leave the town? I think you were waiting until the next day, I believe.
I don't have anything I need to worry about.
Before we leave town, I am going to go talk to Gabby again.
Yes. Gabrielle Kane, village wise woman, herbalist.
Every time I call her Gabby, she kind of blushes a little.
So, yes, Lyric, what can I do for you?
And as I walk in, I go in, and as I shut her door, I kind of lock it. What we're going to discuss, I don't think you want the townsfolk to hear much about.
Well, she, her area is, this is also where she works. She has a little bit of
It won't be long.
hospital that's attached to there. So, like, there are patients there. So she says, okay, come with me into the back here. She has another area where she lives, little kitchen area, and she escorts.
And with that, I unclick the lock and walk in.
So what can I do for you?
He does that brash, cocky, arrogant, lean against the counter thing, and he says, "Me and the others have been asked to check out what's going on out there. And I know the gloom affects things differently, and I am far from an expert at fighting them. But it's quite obvious that you know more than you've been letting on. I don't think you're in league with them, but I think you know how to stop them. Or at least slow them down."
Sorry, John, I'm just wondering what events led you to believe this?
She collected the gloom before. She mentioned for us not to touch it. She's reacted on everything to do with fighting these things during the entire event. So what I'm assuming is she knows how to at least handle the gloom in a better way than what my character does.
Well, she says Gloam is well, we've known about the Gloam since it was released after the Black Crusades. It's it is everywhere. It's if you go out so far into the water, you will find it over there too. Um, I have some work with it. I just know that it's not something you want to touch. This is why I collected a sample to learn from it.
Okay, do you know how we can make our weapons effective enough to do anything about it? I know there are legends of monsters that go bump in the night that react to silver. I know there are other things like that. how do we deal with the Gloam?
I think fire is always good, and light itself will keep a lot of stuff away. But I'm not much of a fighter and of that knowledge, but um, I do know that the gloam is toxic to people. If there is, I don't know what you'll be encountering out there, but I could give you. I have enough to research, but you can have these vials. She can give you 4 of them that you can apply to your weapons or uh, ammo or something, and it's like toxic poison type stuff. But it eats away.
Well, is there anything that's a little safer for our side to be handling these?
Well,
Like
it is.
like
It
I
is.
know there's alchemist silver for fighting some undead. I mean, yeah, the blades would cut us, but it wouldn't corrupt us.
I promise. I'm more of a healer. I'm not much of making. Uh,
Okay.
you would need an Ordis who specializes in those things. I'm not
Yeah.
an Ordist or anything like that. I'm just a healer.
Um.
It's if you're careful, if you pour it like on your blade, it'll coat the blade, and there's only a small amount that
Okay.
it won't drip off as long as you're careful. You don't put it back in your
Okay.
scabbard or something. But
Okay. Well, I take what she gives us, and I say thank you. Hopefully, I'll be back sometime soon. And don't worry, I'll keep an eye out for your herbs. You got to keep the townsfolk healthy.
yes,
And with that, he gives her an impish smile and proceeds to leave. Although he is gonna check out her tree, which is probably the best looking tree in all of town. Maybe even on all of the island. And of course, I'm gonna do my normal Goodberry thing.
okay. Give me a nature check. I think is what we did last time.
Uh, that would be a 15.
You said,
Oddly enough, as a druid, I'm just not the naturey type.
oh no, it's there's enough through your magic and everything that you found. You improve
Okay,
the quality of the tree and the fruit. Fruit.
and I'm using the spell slot for a Goodberry, but I'm gonna take a couple of the apples that sprout up and put it on her door again.
Yeah. So yeah, so a lot of them they're a lot healthier. There's a lot more fruit on there now uh, than there was.
And he's still amazed that they perk up every time he's around, and he's convinced that it isn't him doing it; it's just nature responding to him.
Yes. Okay. Now, did anyone need any other supplies or anything? The town doesn't have a lot, but Caleb can see what he can find for you if there's anything else. So yeah, you have a dose of you can call it Gloam uh, poison if you want or something. It's basically yeah. I said you can add it to weapon. We'll say you can add it to the ammo. Like you'll dip the ammo in and use it, but it'll still last the hour mechanically. It'll take an action to apply it properly unless you have a poisoner kit proficiency.
Would if do I think Flair could put that into his own ammunition so that it's sort of an auto thing?
Yeah, we're just gonna say once you say you apply it mechanically, it's on your ammo, but it's not gonna be a problem for you when for loading your for using your weapon and stuff. So yeah, you can apply. So once you apply it to weapon or ammo, it lasts an hour. And Fleric picks up the vial and looks it over, gives it a bit of a shake. It looks like it's inert, but at the moment doesn't move around like it did before. But um, Gabrielle said that it is still potent enough. But it shouldn't be a problem. Just don't touch it. If you, a little bit may not be a problem. Just don't, yeah, and don't drink it. Okay. So, any other equipment or any supplies you might need? Like you stocked up on some rations and some basic stuff. Nothing. Okay. So you head out. You see the village is just waking up now. You can see some people fishing. Some people taking some animals around to just outside of the town to a little bit of grassy areas, feeding them. You guys make it over past that rocky area where they land the dirigibles into the forested area. Now, is anyone knowledgeable in the ways of outdoors, like survival or something? Okay. So, Flare.
Blark is, and his whole thing is scouting and being a guide.
So, Leric has been around, and with Flaric's help as well, they make their way.
And I am keeping an eye out for anything. I'm mainly not trying to slow us down enough to be completely conscious of everything that we're passing, but if anything strikes me as the rarer herbalist stuff that Gabby would need, I would be picking it up as we go. I wouldn't worry about the common stuff, but if anything really strikes me.
All right, give me a perception check at disadvantage. It won't be too hard, but because you're doing other stuff, you may not catch.
That is going to be an 11.
Nothing at the moment. You've been in this area before. You usually don't go. You're pretty much in the area you're commonly been in, but you haven't. Yeah. So nothing.
It's been pretty picked through.
Yes, there's some common stuff here and there.
I mean, if it jumps out at me, I'll grab it, but I wouldn't slow everyone down to be very careful about getting it.
Cameron, what is Alistair's? Does he have any forte as an artist? Anything that he's exceptionally skilled at?
Mostly lore skills, investigation, and then he's a fairly charismatic person. He's good with words.
Yes. No, I was just wondering, like knowledges and stuff. So you have a lot of the knowledges,
but more academic. So like Arcana and history are more his focuses, just because that's what he studied.
Yes. So you guys make your way. So now you're Lyric and Alistair. You're in new territory that you haven't really been in. It's probably about midday, and you were all given something by Caleb to denote you as a friend to the other werewolves. To the werewolves there. Anyone remember what that was?
I do not remember.
It's a herbal bouquet.
Yes. So it's just little tied bunch of herbs, and you just, as long as it's visible on you, it has a bit of a smell. You guys try to sniff it, but it's nothing incredibly pungent. And once you make it over, yeah, to some new area, so we'll have both of you, if you want to each roll a survival check, or if one of you want to roll it at advantage, it's up to you.
I'll try to aid him.
Okay, I was gonna say the same thing, but I think we got pretty much the same roll though.
Okay. Yeah, I with the help of Briggan, my faithful dog, we'll move about, and it's 11 on the die, so that's a 14.
So, are you proficient in survival?
I am. Yeah, I do. I do have the proficiency in survival. Yes.
And what's your wisdom modifier?
It's only a 1.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, that's why I would take the. I mean,
I don't know if John would be better at it than a +3.
I've got a +6 or +5.
Okay, we'll have John. You can roll at advantage.
Ooh, 23.
That's a little better. uh, oh, you know what? Actually, everyone post passive perception and passive stealth, just so I can make some notes here. I asked for passive stealth because I like it's I can, unless you guys are saying otherwise, I use that as your walking stealth, unless you're saying
What do
otherwise.
you do passive stuff?
Yes. Okay, so all right, let me grab them quickly. Alistair, passive perception 15 and 11.
You're hitting on everything that he is built on.
Yeah.
Quick question. The passive stealth, is it 10 plus my
Stealth mod, yeah.
my modifier or the skill?
Well, whatever the modifiers, which will be if you have proficiency in it and
Okay.
your dex mod. Think too much Genesis. So hold on. Is your passive perception is 20, Jose?
Yeah.
How's it 20? Do you have a observant?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, nothing's gonna get by you guys with that. And 17 is nice too. You thought you were good, John. Jose has better stats. And one more. Let's see.
I'm just
Oh,
sneaky.
oh, 13 in both. Okay. Daniel. Okay, so Jose, you got 20 passive perception, 17 stealth. Cameron, 15 and 11. John, 15 both. And Daniel, 13 both. Okay. So you find the new area you haven't been in. Caleb gave you some direction where werewolves are not located. He said an area that they commonly are. You've gone in a different direction, and so basically, if there is a problem, it might be in an area that they don't frequent. So moved in, and let's see. you see that there's a lot less. You've noticed a lot less creatures in this area. While you've seen some other ones, you've seen some smaller animals and some birds. Here, it's a little more quiet, I guess. You don't see much in the way of any signs of any creatures or something.
Is this common if we sit like on the edge of like a gloam field that life has like retreated from the peripheral?
Well, since as a whole, there isn't Gloam isn't on the island as a whole. Like it's further out. You're a little away from the direct influence of the Gloam, but if you went out in the water a bit, you would see more evidence of it. Uh, and yeah, it does affect. It would usually kill off uh, fish and other creatures. That's what fishing is in part. That would have been the main source of food here, but and as I said, a lot of the water right around the town is still viable for fishing. There's still occasional dead fish or something that'll wash up on shore. But something like this, where there isn't any, is a little odd.
I turned to Alistair. You know these lands. What of this? This is strange. Consider myself at home in the wood. But this is unusual.
So would I know that that's the way things tend to be here? Like around this far away from the actual Gloam?
Unless there's yeah, this is a little odd. You can give me an Arcana check.
Okay. I only get an 11.
Yeah, as far as you know, that's unless the Gloam is right nearby. Like you've witnessed, been close, like within. You've probably gotten very close to the Gloam, studying it over at one point, or at least samples of it, or seen other people look at it, and it affects a certain way, but it's more noticeable. Like something like if it killed off creatures, you would see dead creatures there. The fact that there aren't any is a little odd.
I'll relay that to the group that if this was caused by the Gloam, I'd expect we'd see bodies or corrupted versions of the creatures or something similar. They wouldn't just be gone typically.
Daniel, if you could give me, trying to think of what kind of check. Handle animal.
Okay.
You do it at advantage.
Oh, all right then. That's 16 on the die, so 19.
You notice. Sorry, what's his name again? Your dog?
It's Brigand.
Brigand. He's acting a little weird. He's like tail between his legs, and he's right up against your legs, almost causing you to trip over. But he's like right up close. Something seems to be bothering him.
Yeah, this is strange behavior for him. He's pretty brave by nature. So I just crouch next to him. What's wrong, boy? What is it?
You can hear like a whimper from him.
I immediately try to just look around. Keep your eyes sharp, boys. There's something about. And I bring my gun up, making sure it's loaded. if I see anything that I would consider dangerous, I will shoot it.
Someone else have Cameron, you have a familiar?
Yeah, my cat Tally. I'm holding her at this point while we're walking, or letting her rest on my shoulder. I don't want her running off, chasing after, some little forest creature or something while we're in territory that may well be dangerous.
The way I view familiars, it's not really a cat.
Right, it's a spirit that's taking the form of a cat.
Right. But there is still a connection with it. So I'm going to give you an Arcana check at advantage.
Okay. That's much better. That's a 23.
Okay. Now, because it's not an actual animal, it says something because you can communicate with it telepathically, correct?
I believe so.
Yeah. So it tells you that there's something calling to it. It's not that strong. It's almost like a whisper in the distance. It doesn't seem to affect it right now because it could be that because it is an animal form, it is an animal for all intents purposes, but because the fact that it's not a natural creature, that it's not affecting it. That's probably what is affecting the dog more than it's affecting it.
Okay, so same thing as before. I'll relay that. To Fleric in particular, and say, Tally's telling me that she can feel an impulse or a pull coming from somewhere out here, but she's able to kind of ignore it. So maybe that's what's bothering your furry friend.
Fleric doesn't know how to process that, being that he finds like all manner of magic to be strange or unusual and doesn't quite understand it. And he's just now more concerned.
While this has been going on, Lorik is going to, mechanically speaking, I am going to be using the ritual to speak with animals. Unofficially, Lorik's just looking at the dog and just kind of, what? And then suddenly it just kind of does its thing. And you wanted a wisdom save for me?
Yes, please. Advantage.
Well, I'm glad I had advantage because that was a 1 and an 18 on the dice, so that puts me at 22.
Now, in the past, things have happened to your character, to Lyric, and you're getting an urge right now
Mm-hmm.
to that you have certain beliefs of what it is. You're getting that like a call, basically, into to become something. However, you want to interpret it on your character, but like you don't have to. You just have that.
Well, technically, he is never wild shaped. He doesn't realize he can do that.
Okay,
so if you want to activate the wild shape, you do it.
Well, you succeeded, but you have an urge. Almost, you can interpret it as something like that because if that's what you believe has happened to you, whatever, an urge, an almost primal feeling within you to almost
okay,
animal like you maybe you start. It's not
okay.
affecting you, but yeah, you might almost. Well, that's why. Yeah, you're going to talk to the.
As I'm leaning down to talk to the dog, Lorik is starting to almost act like a dog, or more specifically, a wolf or an alpha dog. When he goes down to try to talk to understand him. And as he does this, you hear popping. You hear muscles move.
Hold on, you don't. This is you succeeded at your wisdom saving throw. So
I know.
Okay.
I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
And with that, he is going to wild shape into a wolf.
Yeah, have we have we ever
Lark has never done this before.
Okay.
So you guys don't know what's going on.
I am immediately back up from this event. Holding Brigand's leash. Steady, boy, steady.
My guess is Brigand doesn't mind me doing this because he's talked to me before.
I look to Alistair because you guys seem to be friends, seem to be acquainted. I'm like, what's happening?
I'm not sure. He's told me stories. He thinks he might be a lycanthrope, an infected one. But I've never seen him do anything like this. So be wary, but keep in mind he's at least ostensibly a acquaintance, not necessarily a hostile.
I think Joseph saying this man like starting to like change shape, he would definitely jump back and he would just have his pistol and he'd be like, what the fuck is going on here? Like freaking out.
Lyric, you can hear that whisper in the distance. Something calling towards you, something primal. But it's it's not affecting you. Like you still have full control over your senses, but there is something out there.
As I try to calm down Bear and the dog. And what I do after that is you get this questioning look, and I'm looking at Alistair.
Actually, John, give me charisma saving throw. Or yeah, charisma saving throw.
That is going to be a 14.
You hear another voice inside your head. This one is a lot clearer. It still sounds like it's coming from far away.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a different voice. Almost the best way to describe it, almost a singing voice, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
A little melodic in a manner of speaking.
Okay, and as in a nice smooth melody, or is this more of a forceful type of feeling?
Well, it's a nice, almost like a calming, soothing melody.
Okay.
The voice, and the voice says to you, "Resist."
Okay, I am still looking at Alistair like, are you gonna do your thing or what?
So, out of character, is this something that we've done before? Like, is there a thing that I do?
Okay, what trick does your patron give you?
I can. Oh. So I'll ask you what's up telepathically.
Okay, he says, "What is this? What in the hell is going on?" But I'm hearing things now that I couldn't hear as I guess a human. Which, by the way, his ponytail becomes the tail of the dog when he transformed, which is kind of weird. But yeah. Because you communicated with him telepathically before.
Right.
That's the reason he was looking at you like, what are you doing? And he's seen you telepathically talk with your cat and the other dog.
Right. Well, not the dog.
Oh, you might be able to. Who knows? But he says, I'm hearing two voices. One is telling me to resist, and one is trying to tempt me.
I would think resist, at least until we can get a better idea of what these voices actually are.
Right. I'm going to resist, but I'm asking, does the party want me to try to track it? I have no idea what's going on with me.
Then out loud, I'll say, Lyric's hearing a voice. He thinks
Should we
he
shoot
might
it?
be able to track it.
Has he been beset by the Gloam?
And
No.
you hear,
I raise my gun up and point it right at Lyric.
and with that, I do the dog back up motion. Whoa, 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 whoa!
I'll step between Daniel and Lyric and say, no, hold on. I can talk to him. He sounds like himself.
Speak to him without words. This is orderous business. Strange.
With that, I will telepathically say to Fleric, yes, I can do this. I know it's odd, but it's just something I'm capable of doing.
Yeah, I'd flinch at that and like back up. I'd be like, it is your ways that has caused this land to be corrupted. Orderous business.
Agree to disagree, I suppose. In any case, so Lyric thinks he might be able to track the voice, which may be connected to what's going on. It would at least give us a lead.
And Lyric, and with that, Lyric does a paw print, doing like a 1 drag, and then another paw print, 2 drag. Nothing says I can't use my paws to write in the dirt.
There's some freaky shit.
The thing is, once you started communicating with Flick, our bond stopped. You can only do it to one person at a time. So I can't send messages back to you right now until you reconnect.
Technically, it's a one-way communication, but
Oh, it is?
yeah, I'm fine with it. I've used it as two-way before, so I'm okay with it.
Okay,
Wow,
well, then we can say that that'll be. So I'll
What level are you guys again?
third.
Third. You have any invocations from the? Are you tome or chain?
tome.
Oh, okay, that's why. Okay, never mind.
I do have a couple of invocations, but one affects my tome, gives me more spells. I'm trying to find where my other one is. Oh, it's to boost my Eldritch Blast a little bit.
Yeah, so yeah, I couldn't. I had a feeling it was the tome. There is one from the chain that would be beneficial now in that sense, but it's fine. Yeah, I'll say you can create a link with one creature and have communication with it if it can at least understand, if at least has a language, then you can
Right.
communicate with it. So you couldn't do that with the dog. You could do that with the cat though, because it's
Right, because it's intelligent enough it speaks.
yes.
Yeah, because this is my awakened mind ability from my patron, where I can telepathically speak to any creature I can see within 30 feet, so long as the creature I'm speaking to knows at least one language. We don't have to share a language, but it has to know one. Which just means it has to be sentient, basically, from my understanding.
Essentially, yes.
So, like, I can't talk to the dog, but I can talk to any of the group members since we all talk.
Since the dog isn't a dog, no.
That would really blow Flaric's mind.
I think while all of this is going on, Joseph will walk beside Fleric with his gun pointed up at the whatever the hell's going on here, and he would be like, "Have you ever seen any sorcery like this before?"
Only stories. The Orderists, they were attached to my company, but they were separated. They were allowed to do their own thing, cast their spells. We had no business with them. But the things I've heard, the stories, dark things,
Lorik sits down on all fours, and you know the puppy dog look of trust me that all dogs are able to do. He's doing that to Fleric. Because he knows that Fleric likes dogs.
So you already shifted then?
Oh, I'm a wolf. But this wolf is giving you puppy dog eyes. Like, come on, man. I haven't attacked. I haven't done anything weird. I tried to help your dog.
Yeah, I would. If Brigand likes you, which I assume you guys have some type of bond. He would move close to you and just kind of like circle around you.
John, I will allow you the ritual to work to speak with animals when you're shifted.
Well, I might have been able to communicate with him anyway because...
Yes, but I'm going to say essentially that's what it is. But I'm going to allow you to do the full ritual to communicate with other animals if you can.
Okay.
I say to Alistair, like, how long will he be like this? And for what use?
And you see the dog, the wolf, kind of do the equivalent of an animal's shoulder shrug. Don't know.
Oh, Cameron, give me an Arcana check at disadvantage.
Okay. 12 then.
Yeah, you have no idea what's going on with the information you currently have of what's you know a little bit about his condition, but this is all new.
And with that, I am literally going to speak to Brigand and tell him, I'm me, you're you. Your human doesn't really trust me right now. I think it's time to go do some hunting. Do you want to hunt with me?
He's still a bit scared. He is okay with you, but he's staying very close to Fleric. His tail's between his legs. He's saying he's scared. He doesn't want. Essentially, he doesn't want to leave Fleric's side. Something bad.
Well, Fleric can come with us.
Yeah, like he said, whatever Fleric goes, but he's not gonna. He doesn't want to hunt. He's just wants to stay.
If you come with me, he'll come with you. He just doesn't understand me right now. Just like sometimes I can't understand you.
Give me a handle animal check.
Or
no, John.
That's going to be.
Or you want to try a persuasion check. Either one.
That's going to be a 14 handle animal.
It moves a little closer, still tail between its legs, and closer to John, to Lyric, and looks up at Fleric.
And with that,
what is it, boys?
Lyric is going to be sort of playful with him and says, "Come on, let's go. Do you smell anything good? I know I do."
Give me a handle animal check, Daniel.
That's 18, so 21 on the.
You notice he's still something's still bothering him, but he's a little more comfortable moving away from you towards Lyric. And he looks up at you. It looks like he wants you to follow.
Is he like exhibiting behavior where two dogs kind of like? I mean, I don't think you're not like acting like a dog. You're like, I mean, are you really? I mean,
I am kind of doing a blend between the two because I'm also communicating with them.
Yeah,
his level.
So if I see that Brigand is exhibiting like friendly dog behavior, like towards him, I would. And are you trying to like lead us away from this area to like?
You guys know that I was going to try to lead you guys to the voice.
Okay. Well,
Oh,
then, yeah, I would
And
I would
in the
follow
way I'm,
Brigand, but I'd keep an eye on you.
sorry,
I don't blame you. I would too.
sorry, John. Which the thing that's calling out to you, or the thing that's saying, like, is it that the one that's calling out to you and the dog?
And as we are starting to walk away, he stares at Alistair again, like, "Hey, hey, I'm here too."
Sorry, John, you were saying you want to lead everyone to the voice. Is that the thing that's
Right, but
you?
I'm gonna ask him, "Are we going for friend or foe?" But I can't do that until he tries to talk to me again.
Yeah, which I'll do. I'll set that connection. I'll reconnect with your mind.
So that voice that's saying to resist, it sounds far away, but it's not like it's in this direction. It's not. It's in your mind. The other one is the one that's pulling you. You might be able to find out where that is, but that other voice, it's not in a direction. It just sounds like it's coming from far away.
Okay. He says the voice of the one who's trying to affect the animals is close. The voice that's telling me to resist is it's like it's not a direction. It's just there, but it's so far away. No matter which way I turn, where I go, that voice is the same volume.
Actually, Cameron, give me another Arcana check. Straight up, no.
18.
Now, you don't know if it's exactly, but that is something along the lines. Like, have you ever communicated with your patron?
Yes.
Have they replied back to you?
Yes.
It sounds something like that, but you don't know if it's exactly something along those lines, because your patron is not of this world,
Right.
and you communicate over a distance. It's always like from far away, the voice. It's similar in that sense, but you don't know if it's exactly the same. You're sensing a similarity between the two.
Okay. For the time being, I'm just gonna keep that to myself. Fleric and Joseph seem freaked out enough by what arcane ability I've shown so far, and it's like a drop in the bucket. So, bringing up my patron is not something Alistair wants to do at the moment. But he will say out loud to the other two men in the group, so it seems as if Lyric thinks he can track the, I don't want to say taunting, the siren-like voice that he can hear. I think it might be the same one that's affecting the dog and the cat. He can't track the other one, so are you guys good trying to find the one he thinks he can locate? Like I said, it at least gives us a direction to go looking in.
Right now, I really don't know what's going on, but if it doesn't get me killed, I'm fine with it.
It seems we are adrift here. So yes, let him take this course.
And with that, before you even try to talk back to him, now you're fully starting to realize that Lark is fully understanding you guys. You just can't understand him. And he's just started walking back that way. And away he goes.
So you're going after the voice that's calling out to you. You're trying to find
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Okay, give me a survival check at advantage.
What is it with 18s and 1s? But anyway, I managed to get a 25. No, a 24, I'm sorry.
though you are resisting the call of it and its lure, but you can still feel where it's trying to pull you.
Mm-hmm.
And if everyone is following you guys, follow it along some old trails. You're not always following the trail, but the trail is there. Like everyone else can follow the trail. You might go through some trees and stuff. Your little smaller form. And Jose is the first one. Sorry, Joseph is the first one to see what looks like a small, some ruins off in the distance.
Well, I would definitely point it out. I would be like, you guys know anything about those ruins over there? Does that sound familiar?
When you say that, uh, Lark kind of looks over there trying to find what you're talking about, and kind of does that wolfy shrug.
Yeah, if you're seeing ruins out here, there's nothing I'm familiar with.
So maybe something to keep an eye out for.
That you feel like you're that's where you're being called to.
Okay. I'm gonna keep going. But I'm keeping my eye out. Is there any other animals around?
Give me a perception check. I will give you advantage in the wolf form.
What a waste of a 20.
Mhm.
But that puts me at 26.
You don't see anything, but you can smell creatures, but they're off. It's off in their scent, but you can something's a little off, but you can smell creatures.
Okay, does it smell like the gloom?
Give me an Arcana check, because you've never smelt the gloam in this form before.
That would be a 15.
It's entirely possible that that smell is the gloam. Uh, you have a. It
How
has
long have we been traveling?
probably about an hour.
Okay. That would mean my wolf form is about to run out on time.
Oh, how long does it last?
It is 1 hour for half your druid level,
And
or until you take damage.
what's your druid level?
My druid level is 3.
So you have 3.
I think it's rounded
No.
up.
Okay, then 2. With that, Lark wouldn't know how to shift back because this was not conscious.
Okay, sorry. You said it. How long does it last?
It is half your warlock, half your druid level.
Oh, half your druid level. So that's so 1 hour. Is that right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it automatically will revert you back.
Right, but all of a sudden you see him pulling along, and eventually, one time when you guys look back, eventually it is Lorik on his hands and knees crawling.
Are you butt naked or no?
No, the clothing reverts and goes back as he shifts, so he's not naked, but it's kind of hilarious.
Lyric, you hear in your mind that from that distance. Actually, no. Don't worry about no. Forget that. That's fine. So yeah, you shift back into a human.
Now you have returned to sanity.
I don't know if I've ever been sane, but that's another issue entirely. Now, I think that just brings up more questions than we thought, because as soon as he realizes he's back into a humanoid form, he just kind of does that kid sitting on the floor type rollover onto his crossed legs and sits there a minute, trying to process everything that's just happened.
Well, this form is more palatable. You said you heard a voice?
Something was trying to talk to me while I was trying to calm down your dog. And then things just started doing its own thing. I have no idea what just happened to me. All I do know is while in that shape, I believe it is round down like everything else in the game. On whether I can do it for 2 hours. I'm double checking now.
Let's just say however long it was. Don't worry, just keep going. I'll take a look at it, but we'll say it's around. You're reverting back now, whether it's an hour or two.
And he says, by the way, that does hurt.
Do me a favor. Don't ever do that in town, because I don't want to have to shoot you in front of people.
I don't know I don't know if I did it or it did it or what did it, and whatever. All I know is I'm here now. And to be honest with you, I probably couldn't have done that if I didn't feel the calling of whatever the critter is, because you guys weren't affected, only I was.
I like look in the direction of the stones. I say, how do you know we are, instead of following, we're not being led?
Doesn't really matter as long as our blades are sharp and we kill whatever's up there. I can tell you.
For us.
It probably is waiting for us. I mean, it is calling things to it. Oh, and we may have another bigger problem. As we approached, I was trying to look for wildlife because somehow your dog likes talking to me. And he doesn't mean that in a figurative sense. He means that in a literal sense.
I just give you another strange look.
Well, animals do talk to each other, don't they?
Your dog has talked to me before like his cat does. And occasionally a few other things. I don't really get it, but I get it.
Yeah, Joseph would definitely be looking at you weird. I know he would be thinking can this guy get any crazier?
What can I say?
Are you regret coming to the Isle? Joseph?
Hey, there's good werewolves on here, and I have no idea what's going on with me. But anyway, it is time for us to figure out what's going on here. And to be honest with you, it would have been a lot harder to do this if I 21 on that wisdom save, which you wanted.
Yeah, the call is very strong now, but it is not affecting you as much in this form. But you can still feel the pull. It's not so much you. It's actually a lot more muted now. You can still feel it. If you like,
I look at them and say, in this when I'm like this, when I was the wolf heard him better, or it better, or whatever's here better. Now that I'm in this form, it's as loud as the wolf was when we were back at near the village.
Daniel, can you give me animal handling at advantage? And Cameron, yeah, your cat is saying the same thing. It's not affecting it at all. But it can hear it still.
So with advantage, 13.
And also after that, Lark pulls out a piece of jerky and asks, "Can he have it?"
The dog is actually
I'll just shrug, I guess.
taking a few steps away right now towards the ruins.
Like he's being drawn towards it?
Yeah.
Bring it, heel.
Do you have a leash for him?
No. No leash. He does have a collar, but he's well trained, in my opinion.
I know, but what I'm saying is that voice was trying to control me when I was the wolf. It's obvious that it's been affecting the cat too.
Oh, as soon as he says that, then I immediately move towards Brigand and grab a hold of his collar. And
give me another animal handling check when you reach for him.
13.
He actually growls at you.
Whoa.
And tries to snap at you if you reach for him.
Brigand!
And keeps moving towards the ruins.
Sorry, I should have warned you faster. We need to deal with this threat quickly because all the animals around here are affected by the gloom.
Yeah, I'm going to try to placate my dog. So if that's a series of animal handling, I would step in front of him if he's trying to get around me. And, I'll defend myself non-lethally, against him. If he tries to lunge at me, I'll use a grapple to restrain him. But I'm going to try to bar his way.
Give me an animal handling at advantage.
That's a 20. So 23.
He manages to shake it off and goes back to cowering behind you and whimpering.
Whatever this is, it seems to be affecting animals. You were affected in your state.
I look at him and say, I was affected before it was trying to affect me. When I turned into the wolf, it got stronger.
Come on, boy. And I lead him, Brigand, over to a tree, and I get down. I pat his head. I hate to do this, but I love you too much. And I tie him to a tree with a rope that I have on my person. And I look at Jose. Perhaps you should go take a look. See what we're up against. Let's make sense of this.
I was planning on it, and Joseph would start looking for an area that he could get on top of to get a better view to see if he sees anything or anyone.
If you're doing it and not your familiar, Lorik would probably insist on doing it because he's... Oh, wait, Joseph, I'm sorry. Wrong person. I was thinking Alistair was saying that. Sorry.
Oh, good.
Never mind.
So while they're all talking about that, Joseph sneaks off. Give me a stealth check. You're not going that far.
$23.
Cameron, what is your character doing? While the two of them were concerned about the dog, were you watching them and concerned about the dog?
Yeah, I'm just kind of standing there at the ready to help if there's something I think I can help with. But outside of that, nothing. I mean, beyond that, I was taking notes when Lyric was...
Oh, right. So
you're what he went through once he turned back into a person.
Right. It's up to you if you notice Joseph moves off. He's not that far ahead. Like you still see him. He's just moving behind a tree, looking around at the ruins. All right. Give me an actual perception check, Jose.
$19.
So yeah, something caught your attention while they were dealing with the dog. You moved up ahead and looked over at the ruins, and it's a crumbling structure. You don't know how long it's been there. It's overgrown. There is one large wall up that's still up that you can see in the background, but the one that's up closer to you, there's an opening, and something got your attention. You think you saw something in there. When you moved closer, there was a figure, but it's still a distance away. But you have great eyes. You're always looking for details, and there is a figure. It's hard to tell any details about it, but you can see it there, and it's all in black as of the light shining behind it. But you think it's not so much the shadows causing it to be black, like the light behind it. It is a deeper black. You think it might be covered in the gloam or something. It is that black. And you can see little tendrils moving around it, even at this distance with your eyes. Something like off of it. So it has its form, but then there's these little black tendrils. And then there's some movement next to it as well, near it, maybe that little bit on the side that look like stairs. There's some movement there and some hunched over
Uh,
figures coming down those steps, those ruined
if
steps.
possible, I would like to get a little bit closer. Maybe find a tree that I can hang on to, where I can't be seen.
Well, yeah, that's where you're hiding now. You're hiding behind a tree. You moved up closer and you're looking, or a rock, or maybe an old wall of some kind. This is still about, even though your eyes are really good, it's about 60, I'm going to say at least 100 feet away still. But you see some hunched over figures coming down those ruined steps towards you.
Oh no! All right. I think at this point I would get off the tree and slowly go back to the group so I can tell them what I found.
Okay, yeah, you can make your way back. Those figures are moving fast.
Well, I better start running then.
Oh, yeah, you're not that far away. You're maybe about 30, 40 feet away.
Yeah, as soon as I get in the camp, I wouldn't yell, but I would start telling them to like get information to get ready that like something's coming.
What did you see?
Well, it was a little hard to see, but I did see a man who had darkness around him. It looked like tentacles. Think it's the Gloam, but something's approaching.
Okay, what like cover around here, or is like what's the terrain? Is there a high spot?
Um, you are in a bit of I wouldn't say a valley, but you're in a depression of sorts. It's mostly forest, a little bit of rocks on the ground, but like moss covered. Like it's been a this area doesn't get a lot of traffic, but it's recently there's been a few things walking by, like animals and stuff. But yeah, it's just a forested area.
Okay. I immediately look for like terrain where if I know the direction in which our opponent is coming, then I would try to put low ground between myself, or choose ground that's, low ground between myself and it. So if there was like a rise that I could climb up onto, especially one that has like cover, I would choose terrain like that and force my opponent to ascend to get at it, to get at me. So I don't know if there's anything like that.
So you want a higher ground you're looking for?
Yeah, look for higher ground. Yes. Maybe climb out. You say we're in a depression. I would climb out of the valley if it sits between us and our opponent.
You have to move back a bit. You know that it moves up a bit, but maybe about 60 feet back. But you also tied your dog to a tree.
Yeah, I know. I immediately moved towards him. I said, "Come on, boy, let's go." And I started tying him and make my way up the hill.
Okay, so as you go to untie, and everyone figures moving back would be a good option. Joseph, you see a shadow move in the trees, then another, and another. One second here. Let me see if I get another image I'll pull up. You see it's a rough guess. You can't tell anywhere from there's about 10 of them. You're not entirely certain. And where's the image? Okay, it's not so it's mostly black. It is dog-like or wolf-like sort of thing, and it is covered in the gloam. And only Joseph sees that there's a rough count. You're saying maybe 10, anywhere from 5 to 10, 6 to 10, something like that. Yeah, it's more than 5, but rough guess is maybe 10, but you're not entirely certain. They keep disappearing in and out of the from behind the trees. Everyone rolled for initiative.
Oh man, this is lovely. Quick question before initiative starts: can I climb a tree?
You guys were moving, going to move out, so you guys were on your way out, and you noticed this before everyone else, so we're not surprised. So yes, that image is from Emberwind. I don't want to say anything else. I can't remember if any of you are playing or anyone who's watching might be playing, but that I like the image. I wish I had a better quality one, but okay. So
The main question I have is, when I see them, will it look like the werewolf that we saw the first time?
I'll let you know
Okay.
when you get to see it. But yeah, well, I'll say now it's not. This is more of a I'm going to say a normal wolf size creature.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to clarify because that would have scared the hell out of me to have 10 of those things around us.
Oh yeah. No, yes. You know what? That's a better idea. I'll make them werewolves. Yes.
Then that pack is really depleted.
Yeah. No. So far, you only know of the one that was that this happened to. These look more natural creatures. Well, sorry. Like like a natural, like a normal size wolf size, but obviously it's covered in the gloam. But not that anyone's seen. You guys are still trying to grab the dog and make your way back out. Okay, sorry. Oh, okay. Initiative. What's your initiative mod, Jose and Cameron?
My mod is 3, but I got a 13 altogether.
Yeah, mine's only a 1, so
Okay, we'll put Jose first then. Okay, so as you guys are collecting the dog and you guys start backing up, Joseph, you freeze up. You see all these figures, but before you have time to let anyone else know, they attack. Oh, what,
So are we caught in the valley?
yeah, you're still in there. You were on your way out. They beat you to it.
Okay.
Down. Drive room for all their hit points and stuff. A lot of this it's dictated by your actions and whatever I come up with. So, what it's not like this was planned. So it's not like okay. Where is should get hit points and stats for them? Okay. All right then. All right, Fleric. High or low?
Hi.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Does that mean?
That may not be good for you.
All right. Is it? How many are they? How many of them are there?
You don't know exactly, and your character doesn't know. What's the AC of your dog?
It's fairly low. 15. 15. I'm using wild dog stats, which is like the only medium-sized dog I found on Beyond.
Okay. Something as you go to untie your dog, it looks like this living shadow just appears and takes a nip at it for 6 points of piercing damage. It bites right through it, and
Yeah, that's a severe blow to a 10 hit point dog.
yeah, and around the wound, looks like it's starting to age and decay.
Okay.
And another one snaps at it, but just the dog just moves out of the way. Like it manages to avoid one, and then the other one just into the jaws of the other.
So they just appear like they like peel themselves away from shadows and
As far as you can tell, you were looking at the dog, and suddenly this thing was like right there. You don't know
among
how.
us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you're at a tree. It came from around the tree. You don't know. It could have come out of the shadows, as far as you could see. Jose, what's your AC? Jose, you're muted.
Is 14.
Two, you see two come right at you. Oh yeah, but you're surprised, so you don't get to act the first round, John. Yeah, two of them snap at you. One of them bites you for 6 points of damage.
Ooh, that's lovely.
John, what's your AC? John, you're muted. What's Lyric's AC?
19. Not. Sorry. 17.
As you're backing up, you step right into two of them, and they both snap at you. 6 apiece, so 12 damage total. They just snap at you, and yeah, your wounds, both of you that gonna hit your wounds start festering, and almost like your skin is decaying and aging. And what, Cameron? What is Alistair's AC?
12.
Yeah. As you're moving up, you're trying to climb out. Two of them materialize out of nowhere and snap at you, and you take 6 points of damage as one of them connects, and yeah, the wound starts festering a bit.
Okay.
All right. Joseph, since you saw them, you were prepared. What do you do?
Well, let's see. If I was to light a torch, that would be an action, right?
I'm gonna say yes.
Let's see. Are they really close to me?
Yeah, they're still next to you.
Since I'm a rogue, I can bonus action disengage, right?
I believe so.
Okay, I'll disengage, and I'm gonna run to a tree as farthest away from them, and then I'm gonna light up a torch.
Actually, I'll just say, because you did bring up a good point. They actually, after they attacked, they all vanished. Anyone, the ones near you, you know exactly where they are. You can still see them. You can move up towards them if you wanted to.
They panic.
So it basically stepped out, bit you, and then disappeared as if into the air, and then it actually reappeared somewhere else, and you saw them.
Gotcha. Okay. And do I see any of them?
Oh yeah, you can see them. They're not to your eyes. You can easily see them.
Yes. You know what? I think I'm gonna try to take a shot at one of them.
Go ahead. You gonna shoot them, or are you gonna move up and engage them?
I'll shoot them.
Yeah, it's hard to see their form, but yeah, they look pretty much wolf size. Nowhere near the size of that werewolf
Gotcha.
from before, but it looks similar. Uh, a little, maybe a little deformed, but it's coated in this inky blackness with these little tentacles coming out, and then their jaws are just look massive.
Jesus. Does 16 hit?
16. Yes.
I imagine I don't get no sneak attack, right?
No, not at this time.
Yeah, I did 3 damage.
3 damage. Okay.
Yeah, and then after that, I would try to get some distance from them, like maybe 5 to 8 feet, and hide behind a tree.
Okay, so you moved up towards it, or you shot at it?
I shot at it and then I moved.
Okay, yeah, you can get behind a tree. Give me a stealth check.
21.
Okay. Anything else you're doing, or I think that's all your actions.
That's all my action.
So, Lyric, so what would you like to? You want
to? My trick isn't going to work anymore.
There are a few next to each other. If you want.
Yeah, but if they're teleporting, the entangle isn't going to do a thing.
That's true.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the dog and sort of do a defensive stance, dropping my shield and bringing up my bow. And I'm going to take one shot at the one that Joseph hit. And that'll be a 17 to hit.
That hits.
And it will be for 5 damage.
That takes it out.
And then with my bonus action, I am going to use Healing Word on the dog, and it will recover 6 hit points.
Well, that would heal them all.
So
Wait,
yeah,
my idea behind that is I don't want him turning into one of those things. He's too good of a doggy.
so yeah, you fire your bow, an arrow into this creature, and it pierces through the inky blackness straight into where you think the heart might be. The creature collapses onto the ground, and the inky blackness starts flowing off of it and puddling around it. And it's hard to tell at this distance because of where it's located and how it's lying, but it still, it appears very wolf-like in size underneath all that. And the rest of them start moving up again. Daniel, actually, yeah, two of them come up to Fleric.
Well, do I get to make an attack or?
Oh, not yet. No, they have a high initiative, so you didn't get to attack the first round.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Only Joseph did because he saw them. You guys were caught by surprise.
Got it.
What's your AC again?
It's currently 16.
Yeah, two of them snap at you and then disappear into the distance. They disappear and reappear further away. Two of them snap at Lyric, but they also and they disappear again. So they walk up and then disappear into the shadows or something. Yeah, they sort of like melt into the shadows on the floor onto the ground and disappear and reappear further away. Joseph's AC again is
14.
Two of them snap at you. They charge at you, and you take 6 and 6, so 12 total damage as they just bite into you, and your arm is just it's turning gray and decaying, and then there's a little bit blackness on your skin, little tendrils of blackness. Just it seems almost eating at you.
Yeah, with that, he would definitely drop to the ground, like holding his arm, and he's gonna try to get away from them.
Okay, and one of them jumps over at Alistair, snaps at him, misses, and then disappears again. So, Fleric, what are you going to do?
Okay, so I can see these creatures, right?
I'm going to say yes. Now, yeah, you can see them off. They're about. There's two that are maybe about 30 feet away from you. Maybe 3 or 4 of them about 30 feet away from you, and the rest of them are maybe a little further away, 35, 40 feet. But
and they're all exhibiting this like hit and run type of tactic.
Yes.
Okay, then I just level the rifle and shoot at the closest one.
Okay.
It's 15.
That hits.
Okay. It's going to be 6 points of piercing rifle damage.
Okay. You shoot one in. It pierces right through the outer Gloam covering. It looks, and then you can see a reddish black blood pouring out, but it is still standing.
Okay, at that I will take. I'll action surge to don my shield, pitching the gun to the floor, knowing that the gun was ineffective against the creature from the town. And I will also take a defensive position around my dog, unwilling to let him be taken by these creatures.
Okay.
And I'll finish my turn.
All right, Joseph. What are you going to do now?
Are they on me or not anymore?
Well, as soon as they run up to you and then melt into, like, they sort of like dissolve into the ground, into the shadows. And you guys, sorry about this. I got someone at the door. We'll take a couple minute break here. All right, I'm back, but so we'll just let the players take a quick break here.
I'm still hiding out here.
So, is anyone watching this or in the future? This is Shadows over over Soothaven, sorry. And this is using the Shadows over Drift Chapel Adventure Kit by Absolute Tabletop. They also have Oath of the Frozen King, designed a little more for dungeon crawling, but you can change it to reflavor it. The Shadows over Drift Chapel, little dungeon crawling in the in the basic, but it's a little more open. And as with both adventure kits, you can tailor it to you can do a quick generation of an adventure using, there's some tables using a drop dice technique where you roll one of each dice, drop them down, and then match them up on the chart with the dice, the type of dice and what number. But then you could also, if you want to flesh it out, you can into a larger one shot, a more detailed one shot that's different. You can tailor it or you can create a whole campaign, or as a first adventure in a campaign. And this one's set in the world of Gloam, which is where we're running it. But you can tailor it to another to your own setting, with or without the Gloam itself. And is everyone back, or is Daniel
Yeah, I'm here. We're good.
and John? You're there.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So we're Joseph. You are severely injured, and your body is decaying away.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah. So yeah, you're really injured, and your body is like decaying and aging, and almost like it's being eaten away.
Oh, that's lovely.
Well, it's all in a day in the world of Gloam.
Yep. Alright, so is everybody back or?
Yeah, we're all back. I think it's your turn.
Okay. Since they're not near me, to dash, do I use a bonus action or run action?
To dash. Dash. I think you could do as a bonus action. Can you not?
I guess. Just in case, I'm gonna run away from them, and I'm gonna try to get behind, like near somebody from the group. If they're too far away from me, then I'll dash.
You do know that Lark is the secondary healer of the community, so if you're looking for someone to try to patch you up on the quick, you're going to want to go to him.
You do know something. The dog was injured, and when he was near it, the dog's wounds all knit up, and the dog's looking healthy again. There's maybe a few spots of blood, but there's no wounds on him anymore, or any of the
Gotcha.
some of the skin. It's hard to tell. It might still be a little gray, but overall, the dog looks healthier. And you know that he is. Yeah, he probably has some healing capabilities, even mundane.
Well, Joseph would definitely run his way and try to hide like near a tree near him, so that way I have some cover from those things.
Okay, give me stealth roll.
Jesus, 24.
Okay, so Lyric won't be able to find you to heal you. No, I'm kidding.
And if possible, can I use my action to get ready just in case one of those things come at me?
Sure, you can. So you moved over to him and you hid. But now, yeah, you take up a defensive.
Yeah,
You're readying an action. If something comes within range, you'll
yeah, let's shoot him.
attack it. You want to shoot? Because you can shoot from where you are, or do you want to?
Um, I think I'd rather not piss him off, so I'll just ready an action in case something comes at me. Then I'll shoot it.
Okay. uh, Alistair, you're up.
Okay, then is there still one on Joseph? Because I saw that he got bit a couple of times now.
Oh no! After they basically come running in, attack, and then disappear, like almost dissolve into the ground, the shadow on the ground, and reappear away, further away, about 30 feet away.
Oh, okay. So whichever one's closest to me, then.
Sure, there is one that's, they're all at least 30 feet to maybe 40 feet away from you, because everyone is in a small area. There's one that's injured, and then a whole lot of them that are still whole and hearty.
Well, the injured one then.
Okay.
And I'm just going to twist my hands in a odd gesture and fire out a beam of arcane energy with Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
I got a 22 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. And my damage is 7.
Okay. Yeah, you blast that one, and Gloam just almost like spread, like wherever you blasted, it just separated. You kill it, and it almost melts or dissolves off of it. There's like a puddle of Gloam around it, and it falls over dead. Anything else?
No, not from me. If these things are basically teleporting back and forth, there's no sense in trying to move much. So I'll just
Right.
hold my ground and wait.
Okay. Lyric, you're up.
I am going to go ahead and slip by Joseph, and you feel him rub some stuff into the worst of your wounds. And of course, I roll low. So you're going to get back 7. No, I'm sorry, 5 plus your con modifier in HP from the healer's feat. And with that, he's going to get some cover for me and the dog. And that'll be my turn.
All right, then. They come attacking again. Two of them. Actually, we'll do one. One comes at Alistair and bites its own tongue and disappears again. Second one comes after Fleric and misses.
As a reaction, I'm going to riposte.
Well, it missed already. Oh, you're gonna
Yeah.
riposte. Oh, yeah, right. Go ahead.
So that's a 14.
That's a hit.
So he'll take 13 points of slashing damage from the longsword.
And you kill it. Lyric. Yeah, one comes at you and bites you for 6.
Okay, that's not fun.
Joseph, one comes at you. Do you want to? It's about to bite you. Do you do anything?
Yeah, hit it out.
It's running at you, so you have time to do a ranged attack against it.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, go ahead.
Dirty 20.
To hit, yeah, that hits.
8 damage.
You take it out as it comes at you, and it comes leaping at you. You shoot it right into the heart, and it lands at your feet.
Yeah, he would, as it lands, he would spit on it, and that's what he would be like, so you get for fucking biting me.
Lyric, you get hit. Another one comes at you for 6. I think there's one more after that.
Shit.
Fleric, another one attacks you and misses. Okay. Yeah, and they all you think there's about 4 left, and they're like stalking around you. And Fleric, you're up.
So once they come into melee, they then like retreat through the shadows, moving 30 feet away from us.
Yeah, essentially, mechanically, yeah, they move up to you, attack, and then teleport out.
Gotcha. Okay, then I'm gonna mechanically hold my action or wait for an opening. So for when they appear next to me or within 5 feet or within range of an melee attack, then I'll thrust out with the sword.
Okay. Joseph, are you going to do the same?
What happened again?
Oh yeah, he's basically he's readying an action. So if they come within, as soon as they come within melee range, he'll hit one.
Yeah, I might as well because they already got me all messed up over here.
Yeah, you can ready a ranged action. So when but they are in range, so you can either shoot them or wait for one to come at you.
I think I'm ready in action as well.
Okay.
Joseph, if you target one that's hitting one of the other people, you would be able to use your sneak.
Yeah.
Well, is any of them doing that or no?
They've
Well,
been
yeah.
hitting and running all of us. So
Okay,
if you take the hit on the one that's coming at you, you would get sneak on the others.
gotcha. Okay, well, I'll attack one.
You guys are all close by, but if one of them attacks one of your allies, you can shoot it. I'll say yes, you can shoot it and get sneak attack before it actually hits them.
Okay, well, I'll do that to whichever is closest to somebody.
Well,
And by the way, Lorik is starting to look really bad.
Okay, so you
I would
ready?
say get behind me, but they seem to have the ability to just outflank us.
Right. I'm just putting it out there.
Okay, Alistair, you're up.
There's not much I can do to help people who are injured, so I'm just going to send out another Eldritch Blast. And that's a 15.
That's a hit.
Whoops. Damn it. I just re-rolled that one because I dropped it. 8 damage.
Yeah, Jose, you were gonna. There's nothing near. No one's near your allies right now, so you can. If you want to shoot one, you can. But you won't get sneak attack. Once, I thought you were gonna ready your action, so when it gets in melee range of one of your allies, that's when you shoot it, so you can get the sneak attack.
Gotcha.
Okay, sorry, Alistair. What did you get to hit?
It was a 15 to hit, and I got 8 damage.
Okay, I'll say you took out another one. Okay, Lyric, it's now your turn. Lyric, did you want to heal yourself? Speaking role-playing wise, did you want to be able to
Technically, I don't believe the healer's feat allows me to heal myself. Unfortunately.
It might, but I was wondering if you wanted like a healing spell.
Right now I have 1 first level slot and 2 second level slot, and then I'm out. So I'm using the feat as much as I can.
Let's see.
I would rather save my last healing word for if someone actually does completely drop.
Okay. I think you can use it on yourself. The healer's feat. Let's see. Feats here.
You can. I believe it's just one time. You can only do it one time per short rest.
I know, but I believe it says other characters. Other creatures.
That would make it.
Okay, so it wasn't a con. It was D6 plus 4 plus 3, which is the number of hit dice. So
Yeah.
not a con mod, and yeah, you can use it once, so you can use it on yourself.
Okay.
If you wanted to.
I am going to use it on myself. And I'm going to heal myself for a grand total of 11.
Jose, what's your con mod?
1.
Okay,
So you would have got 2 more.
Yeah, you would have gotten 2 more because it's not con mod. It's your hit dice, which in your case it's your level.
And what's the total heal?
Well, no, this wasn't for you.
Oh,
Before
gotcha.
you have an extra 2 hit points
Gotcha.
if you want to. Okay, John, is Lyric doing anything else?
He's trying to make sure that he's got as much cover around him and the dog as possible. Because height is actually an action in this game, which is kind of crazy. But anyway, I'm done.
Okay. So you think there's maybe 3 left, and they come at Fleric, and they miss and disappear. But Jose, sorry,
What?
say
One misses me. He appears in front of me and attacks me.
Okay, one runs up towards you, so you can attack it, and Jose can attack it as well. But we'll go with whoever wants to go first, and then we'll see if you kill it.
Okay, well I miss. I mean,
Okay, Jose, do you want to shoot that one? You want to sneak attack the one that's coming after?
Yeah, I'll shoot him.
Okay, so one comes running towards Fleric. Go ahead. It's about to bite him.
It's 21 total.
Okay, that's a hit, and you get sneak attack damage.
Cool. Alrighty. Is 1d6 or do I get more since I'm level 3?
I don't remember. I think you get another one.
Oh yeah.
Let's say 2d6 for now.
So 11 damage total.
Okay. Yes, you have 2d6. So yeah, you take another one out. As it's coming and it's about to bite Fleric. Fleric swings, misses, and you shoot it right in the heart, and it collapses down in front of him. Joseph, one comes at you and bites you for 6. So while you were focusing on the other one, another one got by you.
Yeah, it probably, like, as I have my arm out and I shot, it just like flashed onto the arm.
Yeah, and another one came at you as well, but it missed, and so the 2 of them disappeared. So Fleric.
okay.
I forget. Do you have spells as a ranger?
Oh, I'm not a ranger. I'm a straight up
Oh, you're
battle
straight up
master fighter.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Yeah,
If you took
I took the range as my like fighting proficiency, or
Right.
whatever you call that. So I'm kind of like equally good at both range and melee combat.
Right.
And most of my skills are like for like outdoor type of. So that's probably like why I'm somewhat rangery.
You're playing the closest thing to a ranger that a fighter can get without spells.
Basically, yeah. Okay. So is there one that I can? How many are left?
You think there's maybe a couple left? It's hard to get an accurate count, but you think there's.
I would just perform the same type of tactic if they're just keep on kind of, harrying us with this type of attack. So I would just wait for them to come at me. And in fact, I would hit my shield. I'd be, come at me, creatures. The dawn will claim you.
Okay, and I guess Joseph's going to do the same thing. Just wait.
Yes, sir.
All right, and Alistair. I guess you're going to do the same thing.
Another Eldritch Blast, because that's not changing. Only a 9 to hit that time.
Sorry?
Only a 9 to hit that time.
Oh, no, that's not enough. You miss one.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Just blending in and out of the shadows. Narratively speaking. Yeah, it's you just miss it as it sort of disappears a bit. All right, back at the top of the round. Lyric?
To put that is, well, I don't have any of it. Never mind. I'm going to take a quick shot on how far away are the dogs? The wolves or whatever they are.
Yeah, both. We'll say about 30 feet, give or take a little.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take a shot. And that is a 14 to hit.
That's a hit.
And it will be for 10.
All right, you finish it off. You guys are getting a better feel of how these things move and are and how to kill them. They're nowhere near as tough as that first one. You're lucky that they're just. It's not the right word. Mundane wolves as opposed to a werewolf inside. And so one comes. Anything else you're doing?
I am woefully low on bonus actions.
All
Or
right.
at least ones that I would take right now.
All right. The last one comes charging at you, snaps at you, but just misses and disappears. Cleric.
Okay. I mean, did he get within? Was I in range to attack? I don't know how clustered we are.
You know what? I'll give it to you guys. Just as it's coming to snap, I'll give you guys both an attack. Just both of you can roll and see if
That's
you
an
hit.
11. So nope.
All right, Jose.
You got a 6.
Nice.
Okay.
Nothing. All right.
All right.
So then it retreats again. Is there only one left?
It looks like.
Damn, I can't load my. Okay. How far is it away?
It's about 30 feet away.
Then I charge it.
Okay. Go ahead.
As a bonus action, I will try to. I think I'll faint as I come in, which I think it's just an attack. So, hang on.
Feint gives
It gives advantage automatically.
Advantage, I think. I don't know if you have. I guess it gets a saving throw. What's your DC? I guess
Would be Dex. Okay, so
it's 8 plus your proficiency mod.
So 13. 13.
Plus that. Okay. Oh, it succeeded.
So it doesn't take
so
it.
let me just double check the feint.
No, it just says I have advantage on your attack roll. Within 5 feet, if the attack hits, I get superiority dice.
Sorry, yeah, because you're expending. Okay, yeah, so it does work.
That is critical.
Oh my goodness! So
I don't think these guys can survive. Well, that'd be 848.
The way if you guys are okay, the way I'm doing it, so you do maximum damage, then you maximum dice damage, then you roll.
Okay, well that'd be.
So that's more than enough because you have is it D8 your superiority die?
Yeah, but that dice is doubled too. So yeah.
Well, that's max at 8. Your weapon is 8.
Yep.
So that's 16 plus your Dex mod plus the 2d8. I'm gonna say you killed it.
Okay. Yeah.
That alone, even if it was a lot stronger, it would still go down. So yeah, tell me how you finish off the last one.
Yeah, as this one, as we see these ones are like coming in and out, and they start to be picked off, and I see this one is now alone, maybe thinking about retreating. I just charge into it and just rend it in half with the longsword.
As you come at it, it growls and it looks like it's going to come and bite you again, and then it dissipates.
Do they fade into like nothingness as if they were?
Well, no, it looks like now that you guys get a better look, it does look like it might have been a wolf at one point. It's a little bit altered, like maybe a little larger than a wolf, jaws a little bigger, and then around it is the gloam, more like a puddle. To describe it for us, it looks like just it looks like a pool of oil surrounding this, and it's still probably potent, but it doesn't look like it's. I don't want to use the word alive, but you get an idea. It was alive in a manner of speaking when it was on the creature. Now it looks like it's just a puddle of black liquid, like
Inert.
a thick liquid. It probably still is potent enough. You don't want to go start touching it or taking a drink. Uh, you could collect some of it. This is basically what happened to the werewolf, and you're holding in your vials is exactly what that is. So it's I said it's inert, not moving around. You can collect more, or you could burn it. You know that equally. The burning is what you guys did after you collected some samples of it from the werewolf.
Yeah, I flick my long sword, just kind of splattering the gloam onto the ground, and I'm like examining the blade, and I'm looking to see if it's like eating the metal or pitting it or.
From what you've seen, because you fought it before, it and doesn't seem to affect. It's more affects organic stuff, not so much on inorganic material.
Okay.
Like probably with some, it could probably still damage it, but it's not going to eat away at. It's not eating away at your sword.
I'm going to pull a few of the empty vials because we've been using ointments and treatments from me this game. And I'm going to collect a couple more of the gloom. That way, if basically I'm giving the three melee fighters or ranged or whatever, each another use of gloom. So
yeah, you have a total of 8 from 4 from before and 4 now that you managed to collect.
Okay.
Okay, so
and with that, Lorik looks at them and says, I think we need a breather before we go on.
I agree.
I know I'm hurt. I know I've helped Joseph the best I can right now. He just needs time. And I don't know, was Fleric hit?
No.
Okay.
so
Seems like Rick is
basically,
all right. I go and check on him.
you guys back away to where the pull that call is almost non-existent. You guys go further away, so you don't feel the pull anymore. The animals don't. Dog returns back to normal. It's still a little off, but you think yeah, there's no more pull anymore. The question is, do you want to go back to town?
No, since this is at the far edge of where I would scout, I would take them to the equivalent of a, I forget what they call them. Pine trees get a hollow in them, and you can use them for camping.
Yeah, cops, I think. But yeah, so you find somewhere where you can camp out. You're not going back to the town. Okay, so you find somewhere you can.
And with that, I smile at Flit, Claris, and toss him another one of these apples that I keep finding everywhere.
Yeah, I smile back at that, knowing that they are quite delicious. And I say, take rest. I will guard us.
And with that, he's going to toss each of them one.
Quick question. Do they know about the figure that I saw or not yet?
Not yet. And not unless you told us on our walk back some.
Okay. Yeah, Joseph would be like, "We're not safe. There was somebody commanding them."
I kind of figured that. I just know that I'm hurt still a little.
Yeah.
You are hurt a little, and we just needed time to regroup mentally.
Did we said we set out the next day?
Yeah, this was the next day, so it's probably
Still early then, right?
well.
We were traveling that far.
Yeah, you got there. We're just gonna say it probably was a few hours. So we'll say it's lunchtime about now, and you guys decided to take your break. And Joseph says describes to you what he saw. This figure standing in the ruins, and it looked, even though it was a way off, you could see that it looked like it was covered in the gloam. It was like a deep blackness around it, and then were little tendrils coming up from it, similar to what you've seen. And it was not moving there. And then the creatures came running down some old, ruined stairs into this depression you were in, and came at you and attacked. And you guys just managed to move off and rest for a bit. And I think we're gonna call it at that point. It's a good stopping point. Thank you, everyone. Uh, Anyone who's watching or maybe watching this, and do some outros if you want, Jose.
Everybody, my name's Jose, and today I'm playing Joseph, the thieving guy. And thank you for the game. I appreciate it. And sorry for being late, man.
No problem. That's fine. We got a good 3 hours, and that's a good session. John.
I'm John. I'm trying to get a channel going called the Crazy Cold Bull eventually, if I ever get things worked out right. And I've been playing Lorik. He is kind of a very confused druid. So it's been a lot of fun, very interesting. And thanks for the game.
Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah, I just want to thank you, Paul, for organizing and running this game. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing what happens else on the Egfeld Isle.
Cameron.
Nothing really from me. Just thanks for the game.
Okay, well, thank you, everyone, and we'll see you next time.